Hello, welcome to the SN Mentoring YouTube channel. And this particular video is aimed at explaining what is step zero. Well, zero is a fantastic number, isn't it? I mean, Indians invented it a long time ago, I think estimated 2,500 years ago or something, because we wanted to do really complex calculations, but those complex calculations were not possible using the existing numbers because they were limited to represent large quantities. Zero also represents the beginning. Zero has been used in the Indian scriptures, in Indian mythological texts to explain nothingness, but also the beginning, the infinite, and so many other beautiful concepts. In fact, Swami Vivekananda ji talked about shunya or zero in his famous and quite frankly, momentous speech at the Parliament of Religions in the late 1800s when he traveled to Chicago from India representing Hinduism there. So, what is step zero in SN mentoring? Well, step zero in SN mentoring means that step that you need to take before you make a good career decision. I've talked about it at length in multiple podcasts. For example, if you want to become a sculptor, great, go ahead, do that. But if you want to make sculpture or becoming a sculptor like Michelangelo your career, the thing that you will do for the next 50, 60 years, the thing that you're going to do or work on for the next 80,000 hours, thing that's going to define you, define your personality, define where you live, how long do you work, what is your work life balance, what kind of people will you meet, who will you marry, everything. If you want sculpture to define that, probably it's better if you first understand yourself. Then you understand what's available out there. And then finally, you understand how to reach the most relevant option for yourself. That essentially is the career decision mechanism or the career decision making model that I've copyrighted. It's called the spheres of understanding model. Now, in the spheres of career decision, the career decision making model spheres of understanding, what you will see is that most people only rely on external knowledge to make a good career decisions. They hardly get to know about themselves. They are not aware of themselves, and partly that is related to how our education systems have been designed, how our society is designed, and so on. We do not get to understand ourselves in depth or at a deeper level. And that actually leads to a lot of, I would say, inaccurate, inadequate career decisions. But it is quite easy to actually know yourself. Using science, using psychology, using psychometrics, we can do that. That is essentially what the step zero process intends to do. Step zero is my copyrighted model on career counseling. We offer step zero services at SN Mentoring to individuals, also for bulk counseling that we do in schools and colleges. We offer multiple type of step zero career counseling services. The first one is for middle school students, where we try and understand the student through a small personality assessment. Then we come to high school students and university students, first year, second year university students in their bachelor's, where we assess them not only on their personality, but also aptitudes and interest areas to find their best fit career pathways. We also do step zero career counseling for young professionals or students who are in their masters. We again assess them on various fronts, understanding deeper about their personality traits like personal effectiveness, locus of control, emotional intelligences, and so on. Similarly, we do step zero counseling for experienced professionals, where again we assess them not only considering their work experience, their background, their preferences, their choices, because after 10, 15, 20 years of work experience, you kind of understand who you are very well. So it's important to go deeper into that. And we do that through multiple other models, not only spheres of understanding, but also models like the octagon of life, which is created by a friend of mine who is a life coach based out of the Netherlands. So we use that model as well. So what does step zero? What is the outcome of step zero that you will get? If you intend or if you take that service from us. Well, the first outcome is obviously the interpretation of your personality or the other things that we measure through psychometric assessments. So aptitude, personality, interest areas. We're able to interpret that, explain that to you very well. We're able to explain multiple things that you do on a daily basis based on these aptitudes and why you enjoy doing certain things and why you don't enjoy doing other certain things. We also, based on our detailed conversations with you, we are able to create a very clear timeline of a chosen career or education pathway. After the assessment, there are some pathway options which come out. This is a good career pathway. This is the backup career pathway. Multiple career options come out, and we are able to create a timeline for you. So if you're sitting here right now at this particular time, or if you're, for example, a student listening to this video is being recorded in January 2025. And then, if you're a class 12 student, the timeline for you is complete your second pre-board, then sit for your boards. Then after that, you have to, sit for your Indian entrance examinations, and so on and so forth, right? It can differ from person to person. For somebody applying abroad, this might be the time where most of your American applications are already gone. You might be still be, in the process of submitting your UK applications, or you might be directly applying to certain colleges which are still accepting applications, in different countries, including the US, Canada, etc. We are able to give you a very specific timeline for you. We are also able to map the next few months and also next few years in that timeline. So if you are somebody who's in the third year of your bachelor's education, and it comes out after the assessment that you should go for a master's, but not before getting a particular relevant work experience. Well, so what do you need to do? From third year onwards, we recommend that if you're going for a standardized test, especially an international one, it's better to do it in college because it's easier to study for it, and because the scores are valid for around 5 years, GMAT or GRE. Secondly, we would also recommend to work on your profile, build up certain things like research aptitude. You should be able to show problem solving. You should be able to show multiple things, and there are multiple activities that you can do along your semester exams while fulfilling that. What kind of things you need to do to improve your resume in order to get a particular job, how to approach a job scenario, how to do networking, which organizations to join. All those things we are able to cater in the timeline, and we are able to give you detailed notes about each of them. The next major, outcome, I would say, is the career mapping itself, as to you are you, and why should you go for career X? Why is that career option most relevant for you? This is where SN mentoring focuses a lot on your personal factors. You need to understand that with a certain set of talents and with a certain kind of personality, you're eligible to do multiple things in life. And in fact, research says that Gen Alpha, Gen Z, they're going to, sit on this particular piece of insight, and they're actually going to change 5 to 7 different careers in their lifetime. Not jobs, not companies, 5 to 7 careers in their lifetime, because somebody can do multiple things in their life. We are able to tell you why those careers make more sense, and sometimes we are also able to tell people why initially they should start with one kind of a career option, and then, or career option or a job role maybe, and then after a certain time they should switch or move on to another one. All of us have been doing this automatically, but we are able to structure it and tell you already. For example, a lot of Indian engineers, after working for a few years, they go for MBA. They're moving into management. because a lot of Indian engineers, they're natural problem solvers. And after solving a lot of technical problems, they're able to understand the industry-wide problems or the company-wide problems, people problems, business problems, and they can solve those as well with the help of a little bit of guidance through their MBA programs, right? So they're moving from an engineering technical perspective to a managerial perspective, which is changing their career, changing their job role itself. So we are able to tell you some of the career options that you should be going for. They make sense for you and why you need to change from one to another and when you can change from one to another. That kind of insight is available because, again, this is based on scientific psychometric assessments. This is not our personal opinion. This is based on industry trends. This is based on what's available out there. This is based on what will be a good fit for you because of all the data, not because I like your face, so you should be doing that. Well, um, we are able to also give you very specific answers to your career related queries. For a student, for example, class 10 student, the most important question in India would be stream selection, because most Indian boards, they will ask a student in class 10 to choose their streams or choose the subjects that they wish to study in grades 11 and 12. This happens differently for different boards. For example, a lot of international boards are now asking students in standard 8 itself to choose a bunch of subjects. A lot of schools are also moving in the direction of doing a lot of psychometric assessments during class 8 because they've realized that for whatever reason, the current generation is smarter, more aware of the options available. So they're able to make decisions, informed decisions. Well, informed decisions does mean that you have information about a particular decision and all the variables within, and you're able to take the decision. But mostly, that information is based on the external knowledge. It's not based on what you are and where you will be a good fit. So it's not a complete informed decision. It's mostly a partial informed decision. That's why we also recommend to a lot of schools. A lot of schools actually take our bulk counseling sessions, services for students who are currently studying in grade 9 for Indian boards. We are also able to explain to a lot of students who are aspiring for higher education. We are able to explain to you four university ecosystems. I'm going to make a separate video about this also. We are able to tell you about options in traditional Indian universities, new age Indian universities, study abroad options, and hybrid programs where you spend some time in India and spend some time abroad. We are also able to go and do a deep dive into various aspects of your personality. In the assessment that we do for students, we are assessing 28 personality traits, 14 personality types, which give us a lot of information about you, and we are easily able to understand the reasons for a lot of behavior patterns that are observed in a particular child. For example, why is there procrastination? Why is the honesty and integrity, or why is the student ready to make white lies? Lack of motivation, lack of focus, and frankly, a bunch of other things. And we are also able to give you suggestions how to improve your personality. Then there is something that I believe only we are able to do right now in India. I'm not so sure about globally. We are using an API psychometric assessment to find cognitive giftedness, which was not identified when you were younger, when a student was younger. Ideally, cognitive giftedness is identified, when a child is 7, 8, 9 years old. But in India, we do not have the, ecosystem yet. In global south, actually, we do not have the ecosystem to identify giftedness. But using psychometric assessments, we are able to identify giftedness and we are able to give better guidance as to what you should do as a gifted child in order to perform better. Because unfortunately, most of our gifted population, and around 3 to 5% of the population is gifted, cognitively gifted, most of them perform really badly in school because they get bored. But another video on that coming soon. Well, so this was step 0. This is what we do in SN mentoring. If the first step before doing anything, we offer a lot of services like resume and college applications and interview preparation and moving back to the industry and so on and so forth. But before doing any of that, We want you to go through our career counseling process, step zero. If you like it, great. Then we can move on to a big service. And we adjust the fees that we have already charged into that big service. But we don't I think it's less than 5% of our clients who do not go through the step zero process, because a lot of times after going through step zero their minds change, they get more aware, their understanding changes, their options improve, and their career decisions become better. They're less nervous, they are happier, and they're more confident in that journey then. Well, I hope this helped. And if you are looking for a good career counseling practice, please share this video with somebody who might need it, who might benefit. Please spread the word and subscribe to SN Mentoring for more such informative videos. Thank you so much. This is Saurabh Nand.